And it's something like once you pluck, it's really hard to get back.
For years, Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott's marriage was filled with drama, scandals, and constant headlines. But now, Tori's ex-husband is speaking out and revealing new details about what really led to their divorce. His comments are raising fresh questions about what was happening behind the scenes. So, what did he say, and why is everyone talking about it now? Join us as we break down the surprising claims Tori Spelling's ex-husband just revealed about their divorce. Hollywood royalty. Tori Spelling was born into one of the most powerful families in television. Her father, Aaron Spelling, was not just a successful producer. He was one of the biggest names in Hollywood for decades. He helped create and produce some of the most popular shows on television, including Charlie's Angels, Dynasty, The Love Boat, and later Beverly Hills 90210. Because of that, Tori grew up in a world that most people only saw on TV. From a young age, she was surrounded by actors, producers, scripts, and studio talk. Fame was not something distant to her. It was part of everyday life. But that kind of childhood came with pressure too. Tori was raised in extreme wealth and privilege, and people noticed it. She grew up in one of Los Angeles' most talked about mansions, with a lifestyle that made headlines on its own. At the same time, being Aaron Spelling's daughter meant people were always watching her closely. Long before people started using the term Nepo baby, Tori was already being judged that way. Many assumed that anything she got in Hollywood came only because of her father's name. That created a lot of pressure for her to prove she had real talent and could stand on her own. Tori became interested in acting early and started working while she was still young. She took acting lessons and began appearing in small roles, many of them on television shows connected to her father's work. Even though those opportunities opened doors for her, they also made the criticism louder. She knew people would question whether she had earned her place, so she kept trying to show that she was serious about acting and willing to work for it. The biggest turning point came when she was cast in Beverly Hills 90210. According to the well-known story, Aaron Spelling had her audition under a fake name, so she could be judged without the weight of the Spelling name. She won the role of Donna Martin, and that part changed everything. Donna became one of the show's most recognized characters, and Tori became a major teen star of the 1990s. The role gave her fame of her own and made her more than just Aaron Spelling's daughter. And as her fame grew, so did the drama in her personal life. Fame and image. Tori Spelling became a major television star when she took on the role of Donna Martin in Beverly Hills 90210. During the 1990s, Donna was one of the most recognizable teen characters on television. She started out as the sweet, fashionable, and sometimes sheltered friend in the group, but over time, she became much more important to the show. Viewers watched Donna grow up, deal with friendships, relationships, heartbreak, and personal choices. Because Beverly Hills 90210 became such a huge success, Tori became famous right along with it. The show was not only popular in the United States, it reached audiences around the world and turned its cast into international stars. For many people, Tori Spelling was Donna Martin, but her rise to fame was never simple. Almost from the beginning, Tori faced criticism that many other young stars did not have to deal with. Because her father, Aaron Spelling, was one of the most powerful producers in Hollywood, people often said she only got the part because of him. Even though she had auditioned and worked for the role, critics were quick to call her privileged and undeserving. The media followed her closely, and tabloids were often harsh about both her talent and her appearance. Instead of simply being treated like a young actress on a hit show, she was constantly discussed as the producer's daughter who had been given special treatment. That kind of attention made her fame much harder to handle. As the years went on, Tori tried to step out of her father's shadow. She took roles outside of his productions and tried to build a career that felt separate from the Spelling name. She appeared in television movies, independent projects, and comedy roles that showed a different side of her. She wanted people to see her as a real actress, not just as someone who had famous parents. While she never fully escaped the nepotism label, she kept working and tried to prove she belonged in the industry on her own terms. After 90,210 ended, that next chapter was not easy. Like many actors strongly tied to one famous role, Tori struggled to find another project with the same level of success. She continued acting, but the parts were often smaller and less visible. Over time, she began moving into reality television, autobiographical projects, and media appearances. That shift kept her in the public eye, but it also changed the direction of her career in a big way. And before long, her personal life started attracting even more attention than her acting career. First marriage and turmoil. Before her highly publicized relationship with Dean McDermott, Tori Spelling had already experienced a major chapter in her personal life. In the early 2000s, she met actor and writer Charlie Shanian. The two moved in the same Hollywood social circles and were introduced through mutual friends in the entertainment industry. At the time, Tori was still adjusting to life after Beverly Hills 90210 and trying to establish her identity outside the show that had made her famous. Charlie was working as a writer and performer, and their relationship developed during a period when both were building their careers in Hollywood. Their relationship quickly became serious. After dating for some time, the couple decided to marry. In 2004, Tori Spelling and Charlie Shanian held a lavish wedding that reflected the kind of lifestyle Tori had grown up with. The ceremony attracted attention because of her famous family and the luxurious setting. For many observers, the wedding seemed like a fairy tale moment. Tori appeared ready to settle into a more stable chapter of her life after years of media scrutiny and career changes. However, behind the scenes, the marriage was not as strong as it appeared. As time passed, signs of tension began to appear. Both Tori and Charlie were busy trying to maintain their careers in an industry that often demands long hours and constant travel. Their schedules did not always align, which created distance between them. There were also differences in personality and lifestyle that slowly became harder to ignore. Friends later suggested that the couple had compatibility issues that made the relationship more difficult than the public realized. Then a new relationship entered the picture that would completely change the direction of Tori's life. In 2005, while filming a television movie called Mind Over Murder, Tori met Canadian actor Dean McDermott. Dean was also married at the time to actress Mary Jo Eustace. Despite the complicated circumstances, Tori and Dean quickly developed a strong connection while working together on the project. According to their later accounts, the attraction between them was immediate and intense. Their growing relationship soon made headlines because both were still married to other people. What began as an on-set connection quickly turned into something much bigger. Within a short time, their personal lives were about to unravel in a very public way. And the decisions they made next would shock Hollywood and change Tori Spelling's life forever. Meeting Dean McDermott. In 2005, Tori Spelling's life took a dramatic turn while filming the made-for-TV movie Mind Over Murder. That project introduced her to actor Dean McDermott, and what began as a professional connection quickly became something much more complicated. By many later accounts, there was strong chemistry between them from the start. They were working closely together, spending long hours on set, and getting to know each other in an intense environment. For Tori, who was already dealing with unhappiness in her first marriage, that connection seems to have felt important very quickly. For Dean, it was much the same. What made the situation so controversial, though, was that neither of them was free to begin a new relationship. At the time they met, both Tori and Dean were married to other people. Tori was still married to actor and writer Charlie Shanian, whom she had wed in 2004. Dean was married to actress and television host Mary Jo Eustace, and they also had a child together. That meant their growing bond was not just a private emotional complication. It had the power to affect two marriages, two families, and several lives all at once. As news of their relationship started to spread, it immediately drew attention because of how messy and painful the situation appeared from the outside. Despite the obvious consequences, Tori and Dean chose to pursue the relationship anyway. That decision shocked many people around them and quickly became tabloid material. The story was seen as scandalous because it involved two married actors leaving their spouses after meeting on a film set. Fans, gossip outlets, and entertainment media followed every development closely. Tori was heavily criticized, especially because she was already a well-known public figure and the daughter of Tori Spelling. Dean also faced backlash, with many seeing him as abandoning his marriage and family. For both of them, the relationship began under a cloud of controversy that would follow them for years. Not long after, both marriages fell apart. Tori and Charlie divorced, and Dean's marriage to Mary Jo Eustace also ended. The speed of it all made the story even more dramatic in the public eye. Instead of stepping back from attention, Tori and Dean soon began appearing openly as a couple. Their relationship became public, serious, and impossible to ignore. What started as an affair on a movie set quickly turned into a brand new chapter in both their lives. And once they went public, their whirlwind romance moved even faster than anyone expected. A whirlwind marriage. After the scandal of how their relationship began, Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott moved forward very quickly. In 2006, they married in a private ceremony in Fiji, not long after ending their previous marriages. The speed of everything made headlines on its own. To many people watching from the outside, it looked like a true whirlwind romance. Tori and Dean openly presented themselves as two people who had found a deep connection and were willing to risk everything for it. They spoke about each other in emotional, romantic terms and gave the impression that they believed they were meant to be together. That image of being soulmates became a major part of how they introduced their relationship to the public. People were immediately fascinated by them. Their love story was unconventional, messy, and highly public, which made it irresistible to tabloids and entertainment media. Every step of their relationship drew attention, from their fast marriage to the way they defended their choices in interviews. Some people were critical and saw the relationship as built on betrayal. Others were curious and wanted to see whether this intense romance would actually last. Either way, Tori and Dean became a celebrity couple that people could not stop talking about. Instead of avoiding the spotlight, they leaned into it. They began using reality television to reshape how the public saw them. One of their first major projects together was Tori and Dean in Love, a series that followed them as they tried to run a bed and breakfast. The show gave viewers a closer look at their daily life as a married couple trying to build something together. Later, they continued with Tori and Dean, Home Sweet Hollywood, which shifted the focus more toward family life, parenting, and the pressures of work and fame. These shows helped them stay visible and gave them a chance to tell their side of the story. At the same time, reality television also changed their marriage into a form of entertainment. Cameras followed them through personal moments, business decisions, and family milestones. Their relationship was no longer just private. It became part of their public brand. They blended marriage, parenting, and celebrity into one ongoing storyline. That gave them attention and income. But it also meant the public became deeply invested in the ups and downs of their relationship. And once children entered the picture, the stakes of their very public marriage became even higher. Building a family. After their fast and highly public wedding, Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott soon began focusing on building a family together. In March 2007, they welcomed their first child, a son named Liam McDermott. For both of them, becoming parents was an important moment. Tori often spoke about how much she had always wanted to be a mother, and Liam's birth marked the start of a new chapter in their relationship. Fans who had been following their whirlwind romance now watched them step into parenthood. Their son quickly became part of the couple's public life, appearing in family photos, interviews, and eventually, their reality television shows. Their family continued to grow in the years that followed. After Liam came their daughter Stella, born in 2008. The couple later welcomed 3 more children, Hattie, Finn, and Beau. With 5 children in the household, their home life became busy and full of constant activity. Tori often talked about the joys and challenges of raising a large family. Each new baby brought excitement, but also more responsibility, especially while the couple continued working in entertainment and staying in the public eye. During this time, Tori began shaping a public image as a devoted and hands-on mother. She wrote books that talked about parenting, family life, and the realities of raising children while living in Hollywood. In interviews and media appearances, she often discussed her experiences as a mom and shared stories about balancing family responsibilities with work. Many fans connected with this side of her, seeing a more personal version of the actress they had first known from television. Her focus on motherhood became a major part of her identity in the public eye. Still, Tori often described her children as the center of her world, even as the pressures of fame and finances slowly began to build behind the scenes. And soon, those pressures would start putting serious strain on their marriage. Money troubles. Behind the image of a busy celebrity family, Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott were dealing with growing financial pressure. One of the biggest talking points around Tori's money situation was her father's estate. Aaron Spelling had been one of the richest and most successful producers in television, with a fortune that many people assumed would secure his family for generations. But after his death in 2006, reports said that Tori received only a relatively small portion of his massive estate. That became a major source of public interest because many people expected the daughter of Aaron Spelling to inherit a huge amount of money. Instead, the story created the impression that Tori had the family name and the public image of great wealth, but not the level of financial security many assumed came with it. At the same time, Tori and Dean were living a lifestyle that looked expensive and difficult to maintain. Over the years, there were frequent reports about costly homes, financial strain, and repeated moves from one property to another. Their reality television shows kept them visible and brought in income, but that kind of work can be unpredictable. Publicly, they still appeared to be living a celebrity life, but behind the scenes, it became harder to ignore the gap between income and expenses. A large family, housing costs, and the pressure to maintain a certain image all added to the problem. As time went on, their financial troubles became more public. There were reports of unpaid bills, tax problems, lawsuits, and credit disputes. Instead of being private money problems handled quietly, these issues started appearing in headlines. Stories about debt and legal claims damaged the couple's image and made it clear that their finances were under serious strain. For Tori in particular, this was embarrassing because of the contrast between her glamorous upbringing and the very public reports of financial instability as an adult. And before long, an even bigger crisis would hit their marriage and push it to the breaking point. The affair. One of the biggest turning points in Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott's marriage came in 2013, when Dean was accused of cheating during a trip to Canada. Reports claimed that he had an affair with a woman named Emily Goodhand while he was away from home. The story spread quickly because Tori and Dean had spent years presenting themselves as a close family, even after the controversial way their own relationship had started. That made the scandal even more damaging. For many people, it was not just another celebrity cheating story. It was a very public collapse of the image they had built together. Once the allegations became public, the tabloids moved fast. Major celebrity magazines and entertainment outlets picked up the story, and it quickly became headline news. Every detail was discussed, repeated, and analyzed. The scandal became one of the biggest stories surrounding the couple, and it was nearly impossible for them to avoid it. Because they had lived so much of their marriage in front of cameras and in interviews, the public already felt deeply invested in their relationship. That made the reaction even more intense. People wanted answers, and the media kept pushing for more. For Tori, the situation was deeply humiliating. She was not just dealing with a private betrayal. She was facing it while the entire world watched. Reporters covered her every move, and the press closely followed whether she would leave Dean or try to save the marriage. Interviews, headlines, and public speculation made an already painful situation much worse. Instead of being allowed time and privacy to process what had happened, She was forced to do so under constant media attention. That public pressure added another layer of hurt to an already devastating moment. After the scandal exploded, Dean eventually entered rehab. He later sought treatment for addiction and other personal struggles, and his decision to get help became part of the public story too. Rehab was presented as an attempt to address deeper issues behind his behavior and to begin repairing the damage done to his marriage and family. For some people, it was a sign that he was taking responsibility. For others, it did not erase what had happened. Either way, it marked a serious moment in the crisis. The cheating scandal had exposed major cracks in their marriage, and now both of them had to decide whether those cracks could ever truly be repaired. And instead of keeping that painful fight private, they made the surprising choice to let cameras capture it all. Rumors and struggles. After the intense period following Dean McDermott's cheating scandal and the reality show that documented their attempts to fix the marriage, Tori Spelling and Dean continued trying to move forward. On the surface, they appeared committed to staying together for their family. However, over the years that followed, rumors about the stability of their relationship never really disappeared. Headlines regularly suggested that the marriage might be close to ending. Celebrity news outlets repeatedly reported possible separations, disagreements, and tension between the couple. Even when Tori and Dean appeared together in public or posted family photos, speculation about divorce continued to follow them. At the same time, their financial problems did not seem to go away. Reports of lawsuits and tax issues continued to appear in the media. Stories about unpaid debts, credit disputes, and financial disagreements with banks or service providers became part of the couple's ongoing public narrative. These reports made it clear that the family was still dealing with money troubles. For many observers, it seemed surprising that someone who had grown up in such extreme wealth was now facing very public financial challenges. The continued stress around money created another layer of difficulty for a marriage that had already been through major problems. Their living situation also raised questions. Over time, reports surfaced that the family had moved several times and sometimes stayed in temporary housing arrangements. Some reports suggested that they had rented different homes or relocated quickly due to financial pressure. These moves often became headlines because they seemed unusual for a celebrity family that had once been associated with luxury and stability. For fans and media outlets watching closely, the changes in their housing situation seemed like another sign that life behind the scenes was not as stable as it once appeared. Social media also played a role in keeping rumors alive. Fans carefully watched Tori's posts and noticed small details that they believed hinted at trouble in the marriage. Sometimes Dean was missing from family photos or holiday posts. Other times, followers thought they noticed emotional messages that suggested stress or unhappiness. Even when nothing was confirmed, these small clues fueled more speculation about what might be happening privately. For years, the couple continued trying to present a united front despite the constant rumors and financial strain. But eventually, the signs of trouble became harder to ignore. The marriage unravels. Over time, the strain on Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott's marriage became more visible. For years, they had tried to present a united front despite rumors and financial stress, but eventually the distance between them became harder to hide. Fans and reporters began noticing that the couple was appearing together less often in public. Joint interviews became rare, and they were no longer seen attending events side by side the way they once had been. Their public interactions seemed more limited, and the warm, united image they had once projected began to fade. Reports soon suggested that the couple might no longer be living together. Stories circulated that Dean had moved out of the family home, creating even more speculation about the future of the marriage. While neither of them immediately confirmed the details, the reports added to the growing belief that their relationship was reaching its breaking point. For a couple who had spent so many years sharing their lives with the public, the silence around their living situation only made people more curious about what was happening behind the scenes. The situation was especially difficult because the couple had 5 children together. Tori had always spoken openly about how important her role as a mother was to her. A separation meant that their children would also have to adjust to a new family dynamic. Even though both parents tried to focus on protecting their children from public drama, the reality of the situation could not be ignored. The end of a long marriage affects an entire family, and for Tori and Dean, that process was happening while the media continued to watch closely. Eventually, it became clear that the marriage was coming to an end. Instead of a dramatic public breakup, there was more of a quiet acknowledgement that the relationship had reached its limit. Years of scandal, financial stress, and personal struggles had taken their toll. The situation became official when Dean McDermott posted a message on social media announcing that he and Tori were separating. In the statement, he described the decision as painful and spoke about their years together as a couple. However, the post was quickly deleted, which created confusion about whether the announcement had been made too soon or without full agreement. Even after the message disappeared, the story had already spread across the internet. Soon after, multiple reports confirmed that the separation was real. For many fans, the news felt like the final chapter of a long and complicated relationship that had played out in public for years. And as the divorce process began, new questions about money, custody, and the future started to emerge. Life after divorce. After the end of her marriage, Tori Spelling entered another major transition in her life. For years, much of her public image had been tied to Dean McDermott, their reality shows, and the ups and downs of their relationship. Once that chapter closed, she began trying to shape a new identity for herself in public. That meant taking on new projects, making public appearances on her own, and showing that she could keep moving forward even after years of personal and financial stress. Whether through television appearances, interviews, podcasting, or other media work, Tori seemed focused on rebuilding her image as an independent figure rather than just one half of a troubled celebrity marriage. At the center of that new chapter was motherhood. Tori has often made it clear that her children are her main priority, and after the separation, that role became even more central. Raising 5 children comes with huge emotional, financial, and practical demands, especially when life is already under public scrutiny. Much of the attention around Tori after the marriage ended focused on how she was managing family life and trying to create stability for her children. Even when headlines focused on her finances or personal challenges, she continued to present herself as a mother first. That part of her identity remained the most consistent, as everything else around her changed. Dean McDermott also began moving forward in his own way. After the marriage ended, attention quickly turned to what his next chapter would look like. Reports about new relationships and fresh starts became part of the public discussion. Like Tori, he also had to adjust to life outside the marriage after many years of being publicly linked to one person. Career-wise, he continued looking for opportunities in entertainment while also trying to reshape how people saw him after years of controversy and scandal. For both of them, moving on did not mean escaping public judgment. It meant trying to build a future while their past still followed them. Even after the marriage ended, they still had an important connection through their children. That meant co-parenting became one of the most important parts of life after divorce. Like many separated couples, they appeared to be trying to find a workable balance for the sake of their family. A cooperative co-parenting relationship is not always easy, especially after years of betrayal, tension, and public drama, but both have reasons to try. Their children remained the one thing that would always keep them connected, and even after the divorce, the story of Tori Spelling's personal struggles was far from over. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more stories about the real lives behind Hollywood headlines.